Hello and welcome to the Pretty Good Gaming Daily Triple, your no shit gaming news video. That's 3 news stories in one video with zero faff. Ubisoft is possibly the most AAA of all AAA game developers with its approach to additional monetization and annual releases. However, apparently the company is moving away from AAA releases. That sounds like awesome news. Are they going to work harder on making better games, or are they going to explore smaller scale innovative indie projects? Well, no, not really either of those. In reality, they're going to shift their focus to support older games, but also to generate more revenue from free-to-play titles. It's ironic considering moving further towards free-to-play games is actually one of the most AAA moves you can make at the moment. All this comes from an earnings call which was held yesterday where the company said its plans for April 2021 to March 2022 involve 3 AAA releases, but following years will put less focus on these. Chief Financial Officer Frédéric Dujouet, I assume I'm pronouncing that correctly, said, "We said for a number of years that our normal template is to come with either 3 or 4 AAA games, so we'll stick to that plan for fiscal 2022. But we see that we are progressively continuously moving from a model that used to be only focused on AAA releases to a model where we have a combination of strong releases from AAA and strong backlog dynamics, but also complementing our program of new releases with free-to-play and other premium experiences. In fiscal 2022, we will continue our evolution from a AAA release-centric model toward a model where AAA stands alongside new premium and free-to-play innovative experiences across platforms. These diverse experiences will feed on each other through complementary gameplay and business models." Feeding on each other seems like a bit of a weird choice of words there, especially if you're trying not to be a vampiric businessman. He did name drop a handful of games that are still due to come out within that window, like Far Cry 6, Rainbow Six Quarantine, Skull and Bones, Riders Republic, The Prince of Persia Sands of Time remake, and Roller Champions, but I don't think anyone is particularly jumping out of their seats to play any of those. That said, most of them will still probably do reasonably well, especially known quantities like Far Cry and Rainbow Six. Tentpole titles like that will undoubtedly continue, but expect virtually every new project or IP from now on to be some sort of free-to-play experience. I always forget that Skull and Bones is even a thing because we've heard nothing about it for such a long time. I mean, I'm not going to even believe it's real until I actually see it on store shelves. You may think I'm glossing over that game, but that's because that's exactly what Ubisoft has been doing for years, so let's just move on. And then there's the upcoming Star Wars game by the Division developer Massive Games, which is the most excited I've been for something Ubisoft related in a long time, but I still have some huge skepticism about that one. Since this is an earnings call, i.e. all about money, Ubisoft doesn't even pretend to be moving into free-to-play for some form of artistic or creative expression. It's all about how can they get the most money. Ubi definitely won't be abandoning AAA paid experiences entirely though, especially since Assassin's Creed Valhalla was a record-breaking game for the company. Free-to-play games have virtually zero barrier to entry, so that means even more potential players, but more importantly, even more potential customers for microtransactions. To be fair, when it comes to free-to-play stuff, I'm much more forgiving of microtransactions in most cases, because at the end of the day, it's a free product. I do draw the line, however, at anything lootbox related, or if it impacts gameplay or progression, but if Apex Legends or Fortnite wants to charge for some dumb skin, I don't really give a shit. One of the most popular examples of free-to-play done right is Warframe, and I've only played that game for like 5 minutes, but developer Digital Extremes seem to be operating a solid business model, and most of its player base seems pretty happy with it. However, Ubisoft's current track record doesn't set a good precedent for how it will handle monetization even in free-to-play titles. I'd expect XP boosters, time savers, cosmetics without stats, cosmetics with stats, basically everything under the sun that can be further monetized. I can't say I'll really miss Ubisoft's output when it slips into free-to-play, so I'm not really that bothered about what they do. I'm sure it will make them a lot of money, but the amount of loyal fans that stay with them for the long haul may be few and far between. That's assuming they even have any left. And next up, the PlayStation 5 is a pretty nifty console by all accounts, but one thing in particular that everyone was gushing over when it launched was the controller. The DualSense was billed as the most immersive controller ever created, with haptic feedback from the adaptive triggers and vibrations that went from barely noticeable rumbles to intense thunderous shaking. However, despite the hype, that all-singing, all-dancing controller is already starting to drift only 3 months after launch. In case you don't know, or are lucky enough to have never experienced it, stick drift refers to when an analog stick registers input even though the user isn't doing anything, making the character on screen move independently. Often this manifests after moving the stick in one direction, but the character continues moving even after the input has ended. The problem usually involves the sensor picking up movement that isn't there and can be due to improper use or an outright design flaw, a flaw that all of these companies know full well about. Stick drift has been an ongoing problem for most analog controllers, most notably the Nintendo Switch Joy-Cons, which recently are the subject of several lawsuits, and the DualSense isn't free from the same issues. Multiple videos have been popping up up on sites like Reddit, revealing the problem as early as 2 months ago. As you can see, this is a serious problem, especially in high-intensity games or multiplayer matches where this can be the difference between victory and defeat. But more important than just winning the game, if you buy something, you expect the damn thing to work, and for longer than 3 months. The PS5 launched worldwide on the 19th of November, and Sony shipped 4.5 million units as of December 31st. That means that over 4.5 million people could potentially be having this problem. If you are unlucky enough to have this problem, then fixing it is a total pain in the ass. According to Kotaku's Ari Notice, when I tried hitting up support, I was told to reach out to a customer service agent via the contact page for PlayStation support. In a conversation over instant messages, an agent told me to call this number and press 1 for PS5. I did so, and then listened to, no joke, a dozen different pre-recorded messages informing me that PlayStation support is not the place to inquire about a PS5. I was then kicked over to hold. On the plus side, it was soundtracked by Gustavo Santaola's deliciously twangy Last of Us theme. On the not so plus side, I had to listen to it for 17 minutes. As ever, PlayStation support remains a Byzantine maze of conflicted emotions. Once I eventually made it through to a person, I was told that the DualSense drift is covered under warranty. You will, however, have to pay for shipping for your controller to a Sony repair center, a cost that varies based on a number of factors including location and the total weight of your package, but Sony apparently covers the return shipping. No recoup on whatever you pay for that first shipping label. None of that is surprising at all, but it should be streamlined for those potential millions of players who could be using faulty products, especially after such a short period of time. PS5s are still like gold dust at the moment, and it's unclear when exactly more will become available, so maybe that's actually a good thing. If the controller's just going to crap out on you after a matter of months or even weeks, why even bother buying one? I have no intention of buying one until some more games like Horizon or God of War actually come out, but given the state the world is still currently in, who knows when that will even be. And finally, just a small one to finish up, GTA is one of the best-selling video games ever and is the most profitable entertainment product of all time when you factor in microtransactions. According to a tweet by Jeff Keighley, the game has now sold over 140 million units, which is an absolutely insane number. The current highest-selling game of all time is Minecraft at 200 million units, but in gross revenue, GTA takes it due to its additional monetization. Then, in a subsequent tweet, Keighley pointed out that, according to Strauss Zelnick, the boss of Rockstar's parent company Take-Two, GTA 5 sold more copies in 2020 than any other year apart from its launch year in 2013. This is clearly due to the ongoing Foster's Fever situation, and the game is still in the charts consistently. In the monthly charts for January 2021, GTA 5 took the number 3 spot, despite coming out almost a decade ago. Elsewhere in the charts, Nintendo continues to dominate box sales by taking up literally half of all the places. Heavy hitters like FIFA and Call of Duty unsurprisingly stuck around, while other major games like Spider-Man Miles Morales, Red Dead Redemption 2, and Assassin's Creed Valhalla were also performing very well. And that's it for today. If you enjoyed this no shit format, go ahead and give the video a like to give it a boost, hit subscribe and the bell if you want to stay up to date on all future installments, toss a coin to your YouTuber over at patreon.com/prettygoodgaming. That's all for today. I've been Henry Cooper. Bye for now.